So it's the year 2020, and that means trying to figure out what I want to take seriously when it comes to this YouTube channel. Like originally, when I thought about doing the whole nerd podcast thing, I was thinking, comic books because I was really interested in comic books, and I was going every week to the comic book shop, and then comics fell apart, and then life got crazy, and I really fell off. And so it being 2020, it being a new decade, that means I really needed to readjust and reassess what I wanted to do. So I decided, you know what, I can't survive off of the comic book thing because currently my only options are the Indiegogo. And I've been doing that. I have like a backlog of comics that I need to review. I have projects that I've backed, and I can do a video about that. But that's kind of it, because Brian Michael Bendis is still ruining my Superman, so I don't go to the comic book shop. And I was there were some that there were some comics that I was interested in, but I feel bad going in and not spending a lot of money. So it's sort of like I just don't go in, and then I feel really bad, and I'm glad every time I drive by that the comic book shops that I used to go to are still open, but it's sort of like that crazy kind of feeling, because it's like, well, if there's not much that's there, how much longer are they bound to survive? So I don't know. I keep kind of waiting and hoping that comics will get better again, and that if they get better again, which I don't even know when they're going to get better again, because I can't even get cartoons or television shows that I'm really interested in. So, I guess there's that. So you can see I was having a hard time trying to figure out, well, what can I do? But it's a culture podcast, because that was the whole purpose of me wanting to do it in the first place. And I have a natural aversion to wanting to talk about drama. But, I figure, I don't know, like, you really can't avoid the drama because it's part of the community, and I don't have to focus in on the drama that I don't like. I can talk about, articles that I've read, or like thoughts or feelings about things that I've heard, and, things like that. So for 2020, and then certainly in me trying to be consistent in the year 2020, I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on certain aspects. There are movies that I like, movies that I can talk about, because I would really love to do that. I had to spend like almost $60 on it, but I do believe it was worth it. But I got the theatrical releases of the original Star Wars trilogy. So I want to rewatch that, because I've watched the new CGI'd monstrosity thing that George Lucas did a couple of times, and every time it just like takes me out of the movie. Every time it's like, that's not supposed to be there. So I splurged on that, and I want to be able to talk about those differences, and I guess to a degree kind of speculate about why he shouldn't have wasted his time. But I know it's the progressive in him, and it was the need to like pick at things and reassess his vision, because he had the prequels and things like that. I'm probably going to really avoid all mention of the new trilogy. I watched the first two, and The Last Jedi it destroyed me. So I can't even imagine rehashing it. I don't want to rehash it. I don't want to think about it. I did not go see The Rise of Skywalker because I knew it was not going to be fixed. And then as soon as I saw all the leaks and things, I knew it would be terrible, and I was not going to do that to myself. So I'm going to pretend that the Disney Star Wars trilogy does not exist, because it doesn't exist to me. So I want to talk about movies. I want to talk about, of course, the independent comics that I have, and I want to go into the backlog of what I do have, and I want to talk about the things that I like about them, and the things that kind of don't work about me, and just like give an honest review. Like, I don't care if there's any drama or anything behind that. I'm grown. Everyone involved is grown. I literally don't care. I just want to buy what's interesting, and I just want to read it, and I want to enjoy it or take it apart if I don't enjoy it. So, movies, comics. I would love to get into art as well, because I do have some art books and things that I've purchased and that I really kind of enjoy, but I don't know how much I want to incorporate that into this channel. But I don't know. But art is an interest, because it's sort of like, what is it that I find interesting? What is it that I want to talk about? What is it that I want this channel to be? And it's kind of hard because I have such broad interests. And certainly I would love to do all things kind of pop culture-ish, but like my heyday of really loving anime and manga and stuff was when I was much younger. And even though I'm still interested and I am going to incorporate it, I'm probably prone to talk about the older shows and older movies and older books and things that I like than kind of like the modern thing. But I don't mind doing that because it's my channel. So I'm really kind of looking forward to that. So I think overall that's probably like the four things I'm kind of like, the four kind of like subject categories I'm looking to do. I might force myself to watch the pilot of Thundercats Roar. I saw the Clownfish TV review of it. I laughed hysterically because Geeky Sparkles just had me in stitches. And I I'm kind of at that point where it's like, I don't know that I want to do that to myself. Like, do I really want to watch Thundercats Roar? Because I was such a fan of the original, and I was such a fan that I actually own the seasons on Amazon Prime, and I do watch them. So, and I didn't see the 2011 reboot version because by then I was really kind of out of the whole Cartoon Network thing. So I don't know anything about the 2011 version, but I do know the 1980s version. And, if I can make myself watch the Thundercats Roar, I will probably talk about it. But that really kind of depends on if I can get myself to want to talk about it. And I don't know if I'm going to want to talk about it. I don't even know if I'm going to want to watch it, but I might make myself do it at some point. I know there's also, it's kind of hard to talk about The Mandalorian now because it's like the show is over and I watched it earlier, but I suppose I could talk about things like that. Like, I'm really kind of like at this point where it's like, I know that I have to be consistent in what I do. And I know that I have to decide and make hard decisions and things. And I don't like I don't like being double-minded. Like, I don't like not knowing what I want to do. And I think that's why I'm trying to like give myself like that kind of like benefit and saying, okay, well, what are the kind of subjects that I like that are around, pop culture kind of thing? Well, okay, I like movies. I probably like older movies. So I would love to talk about some of the older movies that I like. And, if I see a movie currently, okay, I can probably talk about that. So just for, I guess, recap, what you're going to see the pictures and stuff. So, the comic books, the movies, anime, manga, and then probably some art related things are things that I'm going to do on this channel. The goal is going to be, because it's about taking it seriously, the goal, of course, is to do it on a daily basis, which I should be able to do. But I'm kind of like, there's a part of me that's kind of like, but if I do it daily, then I feel like I'm going to run out of material really quickly, unless I go to the looking at the quote unquote news. And then that means going to websites like CBR and going, bounded into comics, I probably won't mind, but like seeing what kind of like interesting news and stuff there is, which I probably can do. And I'll probably do if I do it on a daily basis. But I don't want to talk too long. So I'm kind of doing this because like I need to put it out there for myself that if I'm going to do this, and if I'm going to do it seriously, and if I'm going to grow, and if I'm going to do all the things that I need to do, then I have to take it seriously. And that means being consistent. And the year 2020 for me is about being consistent. Don't expect a certain time, because it could come at all kind of times. I literally have no idea, time and whatnot. And yeah, that's that's basically it. So 2020, 2020, consistency, 2020, taking this thing seriously, 2020, getting myself together and, doing the reviews and the videos, whether they're good or not, but giving myself just a kind of the ability to do it and take it seriously and not fall off the wagon again. But I no longer have a regular job, so I kind of have no choice, and I kind of have like no other options. So here we are. Not to say that I'm trying to do this. Well, whatever. I'm not even going to talk about it. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. Bye.